Thank you to Viviana for this invitation to share my work. While I try to explain in English my ideas, my English is not excellent, but I try. Well, in the last years, I was working about the labor, especially because in the past, in the neoliberalism state, was not very important the unions. But now with Andres Manuel López Obrador, the labor was very important. This paper is about what is happening in this moment with the unions and workers in Mexico. I have three objectives. The first, I want to share with you what is the situation of the labor in Mexico from the new labor code that was published in 2019, and also the new signature of the NAFTA, now CUSMA, to the Canadian people. And second, emphasize the effects and the effects of these documents in wage and union democracy and collective bargain. And finally, for me, in this paper, I would like to share with you that the results in this moment of these politics are very ambiguous. My position has three stages. In the first point, I explain briefly about the how was the after the of the AMLO, and also the promise that during the AMLO, the Manuel López Obrador, the labor will be better, and also in the reality, in contrast with the first panelists, my paper is very empirical, and in the reality in Mexican change was not very easy. It's very difficult, especially for the structural institution that we have. And finally, I speak about the results. About the first point, when the AMLO was the candidate to the president of Mexico, he promised that the labor will be better. He will increase the minimum salary, and also he impulsed the democracy in the unions. Also, different aspects were in the beginnings of the administration of AMLO. The first way was in this time, in the 2019, we have the signature of the CUSMA. Especially this new agreement was one part of the labor. The chapter 23 was very important, especially for the to have democracy in unions and also to legitimize to the collective bargaining. And also another point very important was the decrease of the salary to the double of the payment. We have in the beginning with AMLO only 86 pesos, and to the first years of the AMLO, this was on the 162 pesos. This is only $9 per day. You remember in my country, the salary is per day. What point important to mention in this point is this increase to the double of in the salary was on the border. In the center, where the increase was minor. Another point, one point happening in the 2019, this point was not considered for the AMLO, was a very important movement of the labor in Matamoros. In this city, 50,000 workers mobilized against to the assembly plants in my country, the assembly plants in maquiladoras. These workers were asking about the what's increase of the extra of the salary, and also one bonus for $1,070 $700 for each worker. This demands was not for AMLO, was for this point were in the collective contract of the workers. And also the movement in Matamoros was effect in other place of Mexico on the border, but especially in the Bajío. And also in the Bajío was movement, especially in the Silao, Guanajuato, and the GM. This is one picture of the mobilization of the Matamoros. When the different people in other countries, in other regions, saw this picture, say they, wow, Mexico is the spring labor in Mexico. Because you can see this was incredible. This photo was taken for me because I was covering this event. Well, okay, we have a new labor code. We have the CUSMA, we have and also the mechanisms, rapid mechanisms. These tools of the CUSMA. But what happened? The change? I don't know easy. Why? Because the mobilization of the success in Matamoros was possible because in Matamoros there was one history, one trajectory of the mobilization. This is not the case in other place of Mexico. In other place was necessary the support of the allies, the international allies, and also the unions or the other NGO, because was very strong opposition of the all unions, state government, and manager that they didn't want the change. Another point, what was necessary to this worker. This worker resort to the rapid response mechanism to ask for to demanding to the companies to respect, especially to the freedom to organize it. And also in this point, it was very important. In this moment, and we have the 29 demands in the rapid response, and especially the most was for the violation of the right to the organize. And also, I would like to say that the international support is very critical to the all union because you remember the Mexican unions are very nationalist, and also it's important to keep in mind this point. And also another point was the new labor code need a new machinery. And then this was very difficult because the Mexico needs to change the different office to the office, and also we need to a new personnel, and then was difficult to begin with this machinery. The Mexican government need 3 states to have the implementation of this new law got in all the country. The North was the last state in this implementation of this labor code. And also the the new institution was no better than the past, because in the past the question was very slow to have any result to the different demands. But no new institution, especially the center of the register of the new union, was very slow to recognize to independent unions, but was very quick to recognize union related with the official unions. And this was very important. And also other point was the was difficult to get the recognition this independent union, but some unions linking with the political people, las Pedro Aces, with the Central Auténtica del Trabajo, increase a lot to the membership. In this moment, the union has 9 million of people inside of this union. It's not independent. And this is one picture about how the Secretaría del Trabajo, Labor Secretary, made the legitimation of the collective bargain in Mexico. What is about the results? And for me, this is my position, because for the Mexican government and other colleagues, academic, all is okay. For me, is my opinion, this finding is coming for different research in different cities, following different movements. In the first time, the wage, yes, increase, but this increase was very important on the border. We in the border, the salary is in this moment almost $80 per day. But in the center of Mexico, this salary, this wage is in $12 in this moment per day. What is the point? The point is increasing the investment in the center, but in the north, in the north is in this moment is in crisis. This is important because the mobilization of the capital is continuing moving for the low wage. Another point, the union the rate of the unions don't increase. Only we pass from the 22.3 at 22.4%. This is very important. What is the point to all the change in the labor law on the also in Uzbeka in CUSMA, if the number of the union is not moving? Another point in this, the independent unions is not the best, is not a lot in this moment. I esteem that only 20 unions, real independent unions in this moment, because other kind of the unions is recognized with the name the independent, but no is independent. We need to distinguish that what is the meaning to independent unions. For me, in this moment, some unions only name independent, but no are independent. Another point is in the legitimation of the collective bargain was no better. From the 100%, only 20% of unions of the collective bargain was legitimate. Legitimated. What is the point? According with the Mexican law, with the legitimation, the workers recognize the collective bargain, but 80% don't make this process. What is the most worrisome? Also, in this and in this in spite of the mechanisms of the rapid response, this tool has limits, because one of the companies, when was in process one demand of the BU in Piedras Negras, the plant the plant closed, including with this process. This is very important to say what is happening. Another point for me is that the common worker is no knowing about what is the change in the code, the labor code, what is the CUSMA, what is the legitimation. And this is important because in one research that we do with the Cornell University, we discovered that the almost 40 and 50% was no informant about what is this point. Then, in my opinion, this is very worrisome, because For me, I think that the change in Mexico only was on the top. Yes, and only was on the top. In this moment, different, and including in the independent union, there are different problems with the leaders because leaders are not closing to the workers. Then we need to discuss what is the point to have a new independent unit if the things continue similar to the past, and also the conquest of the independent unions is no different from the other for the past. The ways is difficult to have one increase more than 10%. This is important. And finally, what if the future in Mexico? Well, recently the president say, well, we want to regularize to the thousand or the economic in economy the in gig economy, but this is it's okay. It's okay. But Mexico has have different problems. Are not solved. It's important to see again what is happening to now what is the next steps. In my opinion, in the next steps, we need to take also the voice of the real and common working. If not, the results in my opinion, is no very promise. Okay, thank you. Sorry for my bad English.